This is the WinBeta podcast for the week of May 15, 2015. I am joined with Sean Michael. Say hi, Sean.
Hey there.
And I'm Zach Bowden. And as per usual, we'll be talking about this week's top stories from the Microsoft world. We'll be talking about build 10,120, interactive live tiles, mobile mouse and keyboard support on Windows 10 Mobile, Windows 10 Mobile itself, as well as Windows 10 editions, and at the end we'll sign off with a chat, I guess, about the upcoming Surface Pro 4. So, a lot in store today.
Zach,
yes, Sean.
We can't start yet.
Okay, why not?
And it's not just because we don't have 7 people named James in the chat stream yet. It's because today is our 15th podcast on the 15th of May in 2015, which is the palindrome week, because every day this year was a palindrome on the calendar.
Yes, yes, it was.
And it's our 15th on the 15th in the year of 2015. Okay, I just needed to get out of the way.
That's actually pretty cool. So, welcome to the 15th podcast on May 15. On the 5th of the 15th, 2015.
Yes.
Or the 15th or the 5th if you're American, in which case you're wrong and I hate you. Anyway.
I get so confused.
Yeah, I always said the 5th or the 15th. No, it's the 15th of the 5th here. I'm looking at my build.
I played the 5th
American.
On your 5th, 15th, 5th jokes.
15, 5. Just lots of 5s today. We have, how many stories do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4. Damn it, we've got 6 stories. Never mind. Well, I think we've got 5 stories in one chat, so yeah, I'm allowing that. Right, so we should actually just dive straight into the news. So, this week, let's actually talk about build 10,120. Build 10,120, lots of screenshots and stuff leaked, lots of video leaked, and a bunch of other stuff. Showcasing a bunch of new changes and features. Build 10,014 also leaked. Build 10,114, not leaked officially, just screenshots and stuff. That also leaked last week, but we didn't cover it on the podcast last week because it happened on the Saturday and we recorded on the Friday. So in build 10,114, there was some changes made to... I can't actually remember the start menu. The start menu moved the File Explorer button down to where the power button is. Made the start screen more like the Windows 8 start screen, so you no longer get the all apps section on the left. Actually, I can actually show you what these look like. Sorry, audio listeners, I'm going to explain it as well. So a bunch of different changes for the tablet UI in build 10,114, and in build 10,120, Cortana got an update, and so did Spartan. But where the biggest changes are in Spartan. As you can see here, Spartan now has a new tab UI.
Zach?
Yes.
It's not Spartan.
Oh, yes, sorry, Edge. I keep getting in trouble for saying that. Edge. Microsoft Edge. This new tab UI is, might I say, a very sexy UI. At the top here, you get your address bar, I guess, which is also up here.
That's a lot of steps above fairly nice.
Yes, that is outrageously great sexiness. Right. Top sites, which is kind of like your most frequently visited sites on IE, so not really anything changed. And then below that, you get an MSN.com like website, I guess, with like the latest news, your weather, featured apps, and so on.
So wait, all of that is being displayed, and that's like your home screen. That isn't a web page at all.
You use Internet Explorer, right?
Yeah.
When you just press new tab, you get like the grid of websites that comes up. This is that, just more awesome. Yeah, so it's not a website, although it requires an internet connection, obviously.
Are those
for the latest
Pinterest pins?
No, they're just MSN.com news stories.
Definitely look like Pinterest boards.
Oh no, some of them are from different places. They got the Telegraph, AOL Money, Independent, Wonderwall. Right, so not only this week, Microsoft spoke a little bit more about interactive live tiles.
Yeah, that's a thing. Interactive live tiles, which they all should be.
Before you
already
begin,
should be interactive. I don't know why they're not already.
Before you begin,
what was that?
I just want to say before you begin, I think it was October last year, maybe a bit September last year, maybe. Actually, I think it was before that. It must have been August because it was before the first technical review. I wrote an article about the modern UI, as we were calling it back then, 2.0. Coming in Windows, as we knew back then, Windows 9, before we knew it was Windows 10. I wrote about interactive live tiles, and interactive live tiles were coming to Windows 10, but they're not coming to the RTM now, so they got delayed, I guess, and Sean is now going to talk about a bit more about them, I guess. So I was right, that's all I'm saying.
just want to say before Sean talks about the story that I called it in October, and y'all can shut up because that's just what happened. Yeah. So interactive live tiles. You said they're not going to be available for RTM. It's just like a thing that will be there in the future, maybe. Well, will be there, but not right away.
Yeah.
Yeah. So interactive live tiles, to give you like a concept, I actually don't like the example that we use and that seems popular with like a calculator, where you can just tap the calculator, the number show up, you can do it. Which well, I wouldn't say never. Like I might use that. I think a much better example would be music. So but the calculator thinks it's an interface that
Podcast. Let's see if that works. Just stay tuned in.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep IE closed again.
Okay.
So you can see the comments, not me. Oh, I have to have it open. Actually, no, I'll open it on my laptop.
Yeah, we're down to 8 viewers now.
Yeah, no, I'll tweet out again. But yeah, I'm streaming again, so give that a second.
Now they're all gone.
They're all gone, literally. Right, I'm going to sign in to the WinBeta thingy. Are we back on?
Yeah, I mean, we're on. I mean,
Can you hear? Is our audio fine?
Yeah, I have the audio on. I can hear us.
So we're not lagging. Is my hands moving great? We have 12 viewers apparently. Who's the 12 who stayed with us? We love you. 13
If
people.
I had something to give away, I would give it away.
Yeah, right, so it's back. Let's retweet it again. Tweet it out again.
Yeah, your hands flow fine. Yeah, I just keep everything else closed and open everything else on a separate device.
Yeah, we don't know what happened there. I guess build 10,120 ate my hard drive a little bit. Let's retweet the. Let's tweet out the podcast again.
How many Jameses are still here?
the ultimate test.
Oh, now it's up to 61. So apparently.
Alright, well. I'll tweet out again. Just in case.
And all you audio listeners
came back.
Never knew this happened. This is not. That's not the bug you're looking for.
What story were we just on? We was on
interactive live tiles. I was pretty much done with my opinion, so I have no idea how to edit that back in.
I think we're about to start it again.
Okay. Hey guys. So when we're all up and everything, we're just gonna start from. I'm gonna go with interactive live tiles. Take 2. I still don't like the example of calculators.
Yeah, we start again from that.
All right, because you had a good segue, so we can edit in here.
Yeah, I'll keep the segue in.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and just. Yeah.
All right, I'll tweet it out again. I'm going to not do what I was going to do. Hang on. 70 viewers. Thank you for sticking with us. We had a technical difficulty. That would have been good to use the technical difficulty thing I have, which I've never used before. I've always wanted to use it, and I completely forgot I had it.
I should have had a sign.
I need to open up the OneNote again so I can get the stories. We're now preparing the podcast for take 2. Sean, keep the audience entertained.
James Osborough wants to know what we do after we hang up. We mostly just gossip. We talk about you guys and how much we hate you. No. Well, not you guys. Most of you are fine.
Actually, I wanted to ask our listeners, because I know loads of them are really super more geeky than me.
Pitch Perfect 2 comes out this week.
That wasn't an insult, by the way. Yeah, my girlfriend went to see it today.
Was it good?
I don't know. I did go with her. I'm not interested in Pitch Perfect.
Lee and I'd be there right now if it wasn't for the podcast.
Oh, shame.
All right, so we up now?
We are up. Let me just get the OneNote up and the comments stream up so I can see what people are saying. I'll get that up after.
So for all our Jameses and anyone wondering where this inside joke comes from, we have a ton of listeners named James in the comment stream for live. My brother's name is James. My girlfriend's brother's name is James. My girlfriend's brother has been in the comment live stream before commenting. My brother
I believe Team Gnome said his brother's called James.
Android. I think my brother's an Android guy. He's a big Google. He even uses Google Voice. He's so Google.
Right.
That's how Google he is. He uses Google Voice.
So it looks like we're still. It looks like we're still going.
All right,
Okay.
we're up to 73, Zach. I say we start.
Yes, right. So start off from the lifestyle thing.
Yeah, so interactive live tiles, they are coming. They are not going to be at the original RTM, but they are going to be there eventually, which is good. Interactive live tiles is like a concept, though obviously...
Wait, sorry, Sean, can we start this again? I need to... Because
What?
I've never done this before, but usually it uploads straight to YouTube. However, since I've cut out and cut back into the same thing, I'm going to just do a backup recording.
All right.
Just in case it doesn't actually... Right. Okay, now you can go.
Yeah, so interactive live tiles, they're a thing, and they are interactive, and they are tiles that are live. The concept behind them is that you could interact, to not use synonym, you could do things with a live tile without having to open an app. It's not going to be here for RTM, but it will be here in the somewhat near future, I suppose. I can't imagine it's that complicated to put basic stuff in, but I guess if you're going to resize the calculator inside a live tile or whatever, that can be a bit tricky. Yeah, so one of the big go-to examples that we use, and I think other people use as well, this is straight from our article on it, says includes the likes of a calculator tile, which when selected would then expand into a full calculator option that could then be folded back into the original tile when finished. So I don't really like that example. Then again, I don't really use the calculator that much. I guess that would save you some time if you're a big, heavy calculator user, and so that's cool. I think it could also have some great uses on things like music. You could click play and pause, maybe, straight on the tile without having to open the music app, which would be, as you would say, fairly nice. Yeah, I don't know. What other uses could you see for an interactive live tile?
Twitter and Facebook are good ones. So in your Twitter stream, you might have like a notification, and instead of just going into the app to check it, you could just click on the notification on the tile and just respond to it there. And you never have to open the Twitter app. Which is kind of the same as interactive notifications, though, really, isn't it?
Again, I mean, I think it can save some time. It's obviously, to get the full function of an app, you're going to have to open the app. But I think basic stuff's great. I mean, I honestly think music's the best example. You just, boop, okay, play, pause.
Yeah,
great.
music's a good example.
Anything with that, I guess answering a Skype call, though that kind of notifies and pops up from the side of the screen anyway.
The demo they used a couple of years ago in the Microsoft research video, they did show a lot of stuff, because they also showed off doing things like taking your phone and placing your phone on the screen where the tile is and having that tile just pop up as an app here.
No way.
Yeah, they did. I'm sure they did. Like that. So say, like, for example, pretend this is on, and you've got the tiles going across. Actually, let's put myself on full screen. Actually, I'm not going to do that just in case the stream crashes. If they have the tiles on, they demo putting your phone up to the tile and that tile turning into a full app on your screen, on your phone, so you could just like take it and go away with it.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so
I don't know how that works,
imagine the calculator. Yeah, imagine the calculator being a full calculator as a tile, and then that tile being an entire app on your phone, taking up the full screen. When you put it like that, it kind of works better.
That's cool. I could see that.
Yeah, so yeah, it's a good idea, but I mean, since we now have the universal app platform, whereas all the apps are the same across phone and desktop, it kind of doesn't make sense to do that. Unless the interactive tiles are the smaller versions of the apps. That could work.
I have no idea.
But then again, that'd be terrible.
Zach, I don't know if it's just because we've had technical difficulties and we had to do this 4 times, but I am pretty done talking about live tiles.
Let's move it on.
We got other things to talk about, and I'm gonna. What do you think?
Is that comfortable to use?
It is. I love this mouse.
Really?
I know you don't like battery mouses because I don't.
No, I've been considering getting that designer Bluetooth keyboard and mouse.
So, if anyone doesn't know the next topic, based on my hint, if you're on the audio or whatever, this is a Surface edition of the Bluetooth mouse. Connects without a dongle or anything like that. And now, well, kind of now, coming soon, you'll have mobile mouse and keyboard support on Windows 10 Mobile. there's a video now that we've embedded. It's not our video, but we have embedded it into the story of someone showing off mouse and keyboard features, and it's really cool. You can just it looks a bit like a tiny tablet that you're holding upright. You can move the mouse around, click tiles. You can use the arrow keys to navigate between them. You can hit escape to go back, Windows key to go to start, that sort of thing. And it looks great. I hope that this continues to improve. You kind of, with Windows 8.1 Update 2, you got keyboard support, and then also kind of as like almost like a bug, you can connect a mouse to it. In fact, I connected this mouse to it, but it doesn't do anything. But then now in one of the more recent builds, you could move the mouse, you get the mouse to appear, but you couldn't use it. But in this unreleased build that the person was using in the video, it was fully functional, and it looked wonderful. I love it. At first, I was kind of like, yeah, mouse and keyboard on a phone. I didn't really see it. Maybe on a small tablet. But now with Continuum, it makes perfect sense why they would have this happen. I think it's great. What do you think, Zach?
It is really for Continuum. I really do. I like it as well. I mean, I'm never going to use it on the actual phone. I'm never going to be like, yes, let's get my mouse connected and use my phone like that. I just use my finger. But it's when you hook it up to a TV or a monitor with like a bigger monitor, right, and you need to do work. That is perfect. It's a perfect time to use it.
Yeah, I definitely could see this for just all sorts of things. Presentations. Office. It's funny because I know Office has appeared on other platforms and stuff, and people are kind of upset with how Microsoft has treated Office on the Windows platform for mobile and phones. Well, for mobile, like tablets and stuff. But for me, they have some great features for presentations. Whether it's something simple like Office Lens, which is just really smooth, or Continuum. I mean, Continuum with the mouse or any of these sorts of things, it's going to be great. It's so smooth, it's so intuitive, and with the app scaling so well and all that sort of stuff, your interface is great. Even little things like that Windows button working, it just makes navigating that much easier. It's really a big step for me in Microsoft's vision of universal people with using different devices, where you can go from anywhere on any device and have the same experience. I think it's great. I can't wait to try it out. I really can't wait. I'm probably going to buy the foldable keyboard that's coming out, because Leah has my girlfriend has a tablet that you would need a Bluetooth keyboard to work, really, to make it full instead of just like an entertainment media device. And I'm so excited to have full keyboard and then test that out on my phone and everything. It's great.
Yeah, it is very great. Sorry, the people are messaging me because of the podcast.
Well, it did crash for a bit.
Yeah. I can't wait to use Continuum for phones either. It's definitely going to be innovative when it comes to traveling. Like, how people bring a laptop when they go away for like a business venture or something, or us when we go to tech events, we take a laptop so we can do the thing. I'm hoping eventually it gets to the point in which we can just take our phones and a keyboard and mouse and just go. No need for a laptop.
Yeah, I mean, depending on the situation, especially for like a 1520, like that'd be great. Like 1520 foldable keyboard, and then this mouse when it's flat. Like, look how tiny this is. Like, very tiny mouse. Very tiny mouse.
Like the same thickness as my 930.
Little bit. This part's thinner, that part's thicker. So on average, I agree with you. And then you'd have a phone, and then you'd have the foldable keyboard, and that could be your mobile workstation. And that's much lighter than a lot of alternatives. And it's great.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah. It's not here yet, though.
No, it isn't.
I guess.
Are people messaging me on Skype again?
Zach, just ignore them. Ignore them.
Go away. Moving right along before our stream crashes again, Microsoft finally announced SKUs. What are they? SKUs?
It's like a GIF debate. I don't want to get into it.
SKUs. They announced the official Windows 10 SKUs, and many people have been upset about the news. I'm not sure why though, because they've only announced 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They've only announced 7. But keep in mind, I can see why they'd be mad at 7. But keep in mind, only 3 are for the consumers, and only 2 of them are for desktop. So Windows 10 Home, Windows 10 Pro, and Windows 10 Mobile are what consumers will see. So, if you're running Windows 8.1 Pro, you will get an upgrade to Windows 10 Pro, I believe. If you're running Windows 8.1 Core, you get an upgrade to Windows Windows 10 Home, and if you're running Windows Phone 8.1, you get an update to Windows 10 Mobile.
Have they verified that? I mean, that makes sense, but
yes,
is that official?
That's pretty much how it's going to work. Yes.
Okay.
I'm sure it is.
So like a Bing powered, like Windows 8.1 Bing, that would be Windows Home for Windows 10.
With Bing, that's interesting. Maybe, yeah, they might. I think Bing and Home will update to. Bing and Core will update to Home, I guess.
I guess the Bing one they haven't said.
The comments will tell us if I'm wrong, because they love that. But yes, that's what I believe is happening. I don't think they've announced that though. I just think that's how it's supposed to go.
So I don't really need to worry about this though, as like an end user, right?
You don't. You just upgrade, you'll get Windows 10. That's just how it goes. Most like high end, I think the Surface Pro obviously comes with Windows 8.1 Pro, so you'll get an upgrade to Windows 10 Pro. It only makes sense, right? I mean, if you're running the SKU you're running on 8.1, you'll have the same SKU when you update to 10. And for the Home Edition, the branding's changed sort of, but it's still the same in a sense. There's also Windows 10 Education, which isn't a consumer SKU. It's something you won't be able to buy this on shelves. And you've also got... I've actually lost the window. God damn it. Here it is. You've also got Windows 10 Enterprise for enterprises, and Windows 10 Mobile Enterprise, which is like Enterprise Mobile, but for enterprises.
I guess.
Surprisingly. And then, of course, you've got Windows Internet of Things, which is for like microwaves and stuff. Which you... Can I buy a microwave with Windows 10, please? Yes, you can. But that's not what consumers will be asking in the store.
Actually, you say that, but there actually are fridges that have operating systems.
Yes, and this is it. Windows 10 will now be powering your fridges, your lights, your toasters, everything.
Because the microwave has like 12 buttons on it. But then again, my smartphone only has like 3 buttons on it. So there you go.
My smartphone has some buttons on it, yeah.
Some buttons. More than one, less than 10.
So yeah, everyone's freaking out about this. There's only 3 SKUs you've got to worry about as a consumer. And there's not really much to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think people kind of freak. I mean, the thing is, Windows 10 followed by blah, 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 is the reason that there's so many of these. If Windows Phone was still being counted as separate, then people would really only be dealing with like 2 SKUs. And if Windows RT... What was that?
That's technically still are dealing with SKUs. Those running on the desktop will not even have to worry about the mobile thing.
Yeah. And that's what I mean. Like before, it was Windows Phone, Windows RT, and Windows 8.1 for desktop.
Yeah.
And now you have the next generation of those 3 things, but they're all called Windows 10.
Yes. So it's technically
it's not
simpler.
More things. It's the same things for almost every user
just less
that
names.
Is listening to this podcast who isn't an enterprise user.
Yes.
But people freak out because it's a big number.
So it's not a lot to worry about, really.
No, I don't think. Like me, why would I care? Like I don't even. Would you even explain this to someone? Like if they were like, "Oh, I got to update the Windows 10. How do I do that?"
Windows 10 is pushed out how I think it will be pushed out, which is just sent out via Windows Update as an optional update. You just install the update and you'll be on Windows 10.
And that's what I mean. Like, would you even tell like your friend who's not tech savvy, like, "Oh, okay, there's 7 editions. Let me make sure that you have the right one here."
Update your computer. That's what I'd be like. I'll do it for him without him noticing, like before.
Just click that update button.
I'm like, would you go and make us a tea? Thank you. Update.
He comes back. There's a start menu now. See, what's this little circle on my screen?
He looks at me. I go, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
Updates. I think my mom would love Windows 10 when it's done because she wants the start menu.
Everyone would love Windows 10. I mean, when all the people I know who are non-tech savvy who were running Windows 8.1 are like, I hate it. Minus my girlfriend who surprisingly prefers it now. I like Windows 8.1 as a tablet, but not as a desktop, which is kind of what people already knew. Yeah.
Like, it's great. I'm actually going to miss the Charms bar. I think it's great.
There are so many Jameses right now.
There are quite a few Jameses in our live stream.
James, please. Jameses.
I actually think some of them might be the same James with 2 different windows open, logged into 2 accounts.
It's likely.
In any event. So, yeah. I guess a little more expounding. We had an editorial this week on Windows 10 Mobile and how, and honestly, I have to say this, it is a brilliant editorial. Like it's not like, oh, Sean works for WinBeta. Like I do, but it's a really well written history of Windows mobile platform, where it came from, all Windows 6, Windows 7, all the way up to where we are today. Why they chose the name Windows 10 Mobile, and how honestly at one point in time Windows Mobile was very innovative. It was almost, I think, more than it was ahead of its time. And then they kind of dropped the ball and they fell back and they're behind the time. And that really hurt them because they were ahead of the time when the market was relatively small. And they were behind the times when the market went from relatively small to almost incomprehensibly large.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine a less well-timed way to fall behind the times than in the years that Microsoft kind of fell off the map when it came to mobile.
They were late. I mean, well, they weren't late, but
they were early and then like left. It's like if you came to the podcast stream and we were 10 minutes late and you just like left, and then we came back and did the best podcast ever. It's like, no, you wouldn't even know about it.
Yeah. And then you're like, well, I found a better podcast now.
Yeah, exactly.
I did not swear there, by the way. That was not emotional swear words. Anyway, yes. You're right.
So, yeah.
And with Windows, because I mean, didn't Steve Jobs in a court battle between Samsung, I think it was, didn't he once stand up and hold up a Lumia and say, this is beautiful. And it's different. It's not what we make. Whereas, because I mean, Samsung was known for copying Apple completely.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
if Steve Jobs can stand up and go, yes, this is innovative, this is good, then it must be good.
That's true. He's a good definition of innovation. A lot of people are worried about Apple's innovation level since his passing.
Yeah. iPhone, bigger iPhone. Spartan's crashed on my laptop. So I can't.
There you go. That's a thing. Folks, don't download 10,000. What build are you on?
You can't download it anyway, not yet.
Good. Don't download it because you can't.
Right. Yeah, the next story is yours anyway, so.
Yeah, so he doesn't have Spartan, and that's a thing. My next thing's Windows 10 Mobile, Zach. We're talking about that right now.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, folks. We're a little off because we had like 3 crashes in the middle of the stream. You may have not noticed because Zach's brilliant editing job, but in reality, we've been here since about 4 this morning, I think. That's what it feels like.
A whole week.
That's it. Yeah, I think we've been live since last podcast, yeah. So that's about that. Yeah, I guess the big thing for me with the name, I honestly think some people could see it as confusing, and some people will see it as completely clear, and that's the weird thing about this name. There will be some people who say, "Oh, it's all Windows 10, but this is mobile. That's a desktop. Okay, I understand, and that's for like your ATM or a cash point, as they call them here in England." And that'll make sense. And some people will sit there and say, I'm so confused, these are all named Windows 10. And now there's an echo. Hello, echo. Oh, good. And so I don't know, do you agree that some people will really like this naming system and other people will be confused by it?
Yes. Sorry, I was trying to make sure the stream's not lagging. I was hardly listening. The Windows 10 mobile branding is fine. Is that what you asked?
Yeah.
I think it's fine. It's not confusing.
Comment section, what do you think? Because I might need a new co-host. His machine's just going to lag and I'm going to be all by myself. You're welcome to join us.
Lagging, so I had to quickly see if it was lagging. It's slightly out of sync, I think, but I think it's bearable.
Okay.
Oh, man. I'm sorry, audio listeners. I'm so sorry.
We only have like 100 audio listeners left, so I doubt they're that offended, but we do appreciate your loyalty.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, the mobile branding is fine, I think. Windows 10, I mean, it's all Windows 10. It's not Windows Mobile 10. It's Windows 10 Mobile. So it's Windows 10, you think, oh yeah, so if Windows 10 is everywhere, as a consumer, you think, okay, Windows 10 is everywhere now. I want Windows 10 on my mobile. And considering it can do continuum for phones, calling it Windows 10 for phones
isn't a lie anymore.
It would be like, well, it's Windows 10 for phones, but now my phone's on a screen, on a big monitor.
That's true. That's true.
Because mobile means it goes with you, right? Mm-hmm. And the idea of continuum for phones is that it goes with you. Maybe they should call it continuum for mobile.
Continue. That's a terrible name. I think that it's a good naming system, and that's a really good point, because if you're trying to claim that Windows 10 is everywhere, you can't be limiting it to devices, because you want it to be on every device. Yeah. So there you go. Perfect. great. Windows 10, good name. I don't want to see one more negative comment on the rest of the
Windows
internet
10. If you say Windows 10 is, if you say a bad thing about Windows 10, you're banned from the internet.
Yeah, from the internet, from
everything. The only website
and you know what
is...
they'll yell when they kick you out?
What?
This is Sparta.
Don't you mean Edge?
This is Edge.
This is edgy. Windows 10 for
so that's a thing. Wow.
My audio's really quiet. Is that better? Hold it up. Live.
Folks, this is why I don't have a preview build, because I like a computer that works.
Yeah, you know what? I tell you what. A few weeks ago, every week I'd reinstall Windows 8.1 for the podcast because XSplit just didn't work on Windows 10 up until a recent build, I guess. And every single week I'd do it. I'd feel like. Have you ever been like in an adventure park where you're up really high and there's not many supports around you and you could fall and whatnot, and then you get to the ground, you feel safe and secure.
Yeah.
And like if you fell here, you wouldn't really hurt yourself. I thought that's the same with Windows 8.1. I feel like I'm finally in a safe place where I can throw anything at it and it will handle it. Whereas with Windows 10, I'm kind of like treading on ice. Like if I click this, it may not open and my Explorer might crash. Should I click it or not? And
it's like thrill seek. Some people go skydiving. Some people, go cliff jumping.
Some people run pre-release builds.
Exactly. And some people run pre-release builds on their primary device and try to do a podcast for their job on it.
Bingo says build 10,074 is quite stable. Yeah, I mean, the official insider builds aren't too bad.
Yeah. But Zach's running builds that the stork brings. Is that what we're going to go with?
The stork?
Like the one that brings babies? Like that you tell your kids brings the stork?
Yeah, that's the guy who brings them.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly how he gets his build. They show up on his doorstep, and get this, guys, they actually show up as a floppy disk.
1,500 floppy disks.
Yeah. And he sits there, and he uses these floppy disks, and then he upgrades his PC, which is I know it sounds really complicated, but he doesn't. Zach's quirky. He doesn't like third-party software. Yeah, that sort of thing. He still uses Zune, maybe. I don't know.
No, I don't. I use Xbox.
No, I'm picking Zach for the joke. For the joke, he uses Zune.
Yes.
So the floppy disk coming updates, that's how he gets Windows 10. That's where they come from. They just show up on his doorstep. He doesn't even know who brings them.
No, it's just, they're like, with a little bow on top, like tied nicely. And then
exactly.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
I leave milk out for him sometimes when he takes the milk. I say he as if it's a him. It might be a she. Could be an animal. It could be a stork. Windows flag holding fire breathing flag unicorn thing.
Oh, now that sounds like a movie that you could make.
Yeah, the cat that brings floppy disks to someone's door with a unicorn. Man.
So that's where we are in this podcast. We're about as stable as our builds. We only have one more topic, I guess, and then we can stick around for the live stream. And do all the questions afterward and that sort of stuff. Because you know what? I can almost guarantee that'll work just fine and not crash once. We got one more thing, Zach, and it's your story, but you don't have Spartan open, I don't think. So it's Surface Pro 4, and on Sean Cameron, our editorial on it about why it will sync if it doesn't have the Skylake chip, which is the most up-to-date, not even released, not available on any device, Intel processing unit.
Because it's.
Do you agree?
Yes.
What was that?
Well, I don't think it'd fail. I don't think it would. Actually, it depends. It does depend. The latest is whatever's in the Surface Pro 3 now, right? So the Skylake's the one after that.
I think there's one in the middle.
Yeah, there might be one in the middle. You're correct. So, no, I don't think it will. If that's the case, if there's one in the middle, it's still a newer version. If there's not, then it fail.
Yeah, I think as long as you can be faster. I'd say this though: if there isn't a marked increase
as long as it's better. I mean, performance-wise, if it's better, even a little bit. Because I mean, let's be fair: the iPad, when they do a new version of the iPad, sometimes it's great and like the performance is leaps ahead of the last one, and sometimes it's not. Like the iPhone 6 and the iPhone 6s or the iPhone 5 and the 5s, the performance increase between the incremental little updates, they're not that much.
Yeah. Well, I think the point that you're getting to now, is the form factor of devices is being perfected. I mean, it's not quite done, but like if you look at the Surface 3, and trust me, I go to PC World and just go hold it.
That's the weirdest thing.
Just, and like we go to PC World, there's a PC World right across from a B&M. And when we're there, my girlfriend's just like, I'm going to go to B&M for a bit and I'll be back. And I just play with the Surface 3 and wish that I had one. And it's thin, it's light. They can't make it too much thinner. I mean, theoretically, you can make it a little thinner, but it still has to be a complete computer and a tablet and have a kickstand. So there is a minimum thinness that you are going to reach with a Surface device. That's going to happen. Where you're not going to get it thinner. It's not going to get smaller this way. The bezels at a certain point are going to be as thin as people want them. You're already seeing that with phones. Like the form factor with phones, everyone's shooting for about the same size, about the same thinness, about the same weight. That's what people want. And so that's not going to be because the first Surface Pro was big and clunky compared to where we are now. The Surface Pro 2 was the same exact size, but was better. The Surface Pro 3 is bigger screen size and is thinner. And so the Surface Pro 3, by most people's opinion, is a beautiful device. The form factor is great. The only thing I'd change is make it a little bit lighter.
Yeah.
And so if the Surface Pro 4 is the same shape and the same size with the same pen, why would people upgrade unless it had a better processor?
Because
that was significantly different.
I believe it's like the Windows 10 webcam and stuff. Like, Windows Hello. It's little things like that which I think will make the Surface Pro 4 that much better. Because the Surface Pro
for enterprise users.
Oh, no, even at
Windows
home.
Hello?
I would absolutely, if I had a webcam with Windows Hello support, I would use it. Because, I mean, if I could just walk into that door and Windows would log me in. I wouldn't even have to type, because I hate typing. I've got like 15, I have multiple accounts, Microsoft accounts. I have a personal
I guess
one,
you're right.
And then I have
I guess it's like the Xbox, it knows who you are, right?
Yeah, exactly. When you walk into the front, like into a room with Kinect and Xbox, it gets you signed in. Like every morning, I'll go downstairs into the front room, and my Xbox to go. And I've got 2 Xboxes. I'm so terrible.
You have 2 Xbox Ones?
Yes, one up here. One
Can I
upstairs.
have one?
No, you can't. One of them's half mine.
Half yours is the other half your.
My girlfriend.
Forget it. We're gonna talk offline. I'm gonna buy this off you.
My girlfriend likes to use the other one for TV. Anyway,
in any event, so you walk downstairs and it greets you, I guess.
Yeah, you walk in the morning and it's just hi. You sign in. You're now on telly and stuff, and it's really great.
Yeah, I guess I could see. Yeah, you're right. I could see that. That'd be cool. What else? Let me see here. What else would make you buy it? You'd sit there and say, "I have a." I think it's probably more for people who are jumping into the line for the first time. Yeah. Like if you're looking for a computer and you've never bought a Surface, the Surface Pro 4 is going to catch your eye because it's going to be the fastest that they can at the moment, and it's going to have Windows Hello, and you've never bought one before, and they'll probably make it a little bit lighter, and they'll probably make the battery life a little bit better, and it'll probably ship with Windows 10, which some people will like because they don't need to do any updates.
Yeah. That's why they're waiting, really, because of Windows.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's probably already done.
I'm surprised they launched the Surface 3 so soon, to be fair. Because when I wrote about the Surface 3 before they announced it, I did say launch of Windows 8.1, and that's because I'd heard it from a couple of people and stuff. But I questioned it a few times. Like, are you sure?
But the Surface 3 runs an Atom X7, yeah? I mean, I know that's true. So yes. Yeah, it does. And they're not waiting. There isn't a new chip that they're waiting on.
They didn't wait on a new chip, and because it's an Atom chip, really. I mean, they're not really. The Surface 3 isn't a performance machine,
right?
So that it's more for like Word and watching videos and stuff.
It's gorgeous, and yes. I really want.
Speaking of you walking into shops and holding devices, I went into Kyrie's PC World this week to try out the new Surface 3, and I couldn't believe it. I walked in. There's a tiny Microsoft. It's the smallest place in the world. I mean, they've got an entire Windows section of but the Microsoft area where they've got the Surfaces and stuff is so small. They have 3 Surface Pro 3s and 1 new Surface 3. So I went over to check out the Surface 3. I got up to it and the screen was off. So I'll try and turn it on. It wouldn't power on. The battery's dead. So I go, okay, why is it dead? And then I realised the charger port and the charger itself snapped and broken. I'm like, what? And as I realised
it's a micro USB charger.
Exactly.
You just go get another one for £3.
I look up just as I realise this. I look up and over like all the different laptops and stuff, in like the long rows of laptops, there's an Apple area it's a big Apple area, much bigger than the Microsoft one. They've got iPhones there, the new Macs, and which I tried, by the way. The trackpad's really cool. And there's this guy. He works there, and they pay him money to do this. He sits there all day and he watches people play with the demo devices. Then once they go away, he gets a cloth and then he wipes the screen down. And then he stands back in the corner. And I'm like, so you got a guy who stands there and cleans off screens for demo units, but you can't actually fix the Surface 3 charger thing. And one of the guys came over. I said, the Surface 3 is broken. He went, yeah, we've called Microsoft. They know they're going to send a replacement unit. I'm like, you don't need a replacement unit. Just get a new charger.
If they think that unit's broken, they could just give it to you, and then you'll get the replacement.
The guy was grumpy, so I didn't argue with him.
What was that?
The guy was grumpy, so I didn't argue with him.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I couldn't believe it. I really wanted to try it out because I wanted to see how the screen looks like, if it was crisp and whatnot. But yeah, I couldn't. So, oh well. If I buy a Surface 3, I'll be buying it blind. It's ridiculous.
I don't know which PC Worlds you're going to, because I go there and I actually think the Microsoft section's bigger.
There's one by the UCH.
You're in London, yeah?
Yeah.
Are they like Apple heads in London?
Apple heads?
Like, are they big fans of Apple there, even more than because it's like a big city?
Lots of people have Apple here. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's the difference. Maybe they're trying to cater to their demographic. Yeah, so that's a thing. I'm sure. Yeah, I mean, for me, it's a big section. The people seem to talk about it. I mean, the guy was talking to me about it. He seemed to know what was going on, and yeah, they had a Microsoft band right up front. They had one of the PC Worlds that I go to. Surface 3 is right up pretty close to the front for another one that I go to. They have a whole section for Microsoft. I think you just got a poor store location. I'm sorry, my friend. They're pretty. They're beautiful. You will love the Surface 3 and wish that you could justify buying one, even though you have a million other devices.
I might buy one just for the pen support.
Yeah, apparently it's a very nice pen. Yeah. The Intrigue.
The pen is nice because when I had the Surface Pro 3 to review, it was really lovely. I used to just like doodle on it because I could, and I used to like watching it like paint and stuff. And I use Adobe Flash a lot, and you can like do like lots of nice animations. So I might actually use it for that.
I doodle in class on my Surface Pro 2 all the time.
Yeah.
One time I actually sat there in a class, and I took a picture of myself, just like a selfie, and then colored in the selfie with the same color, but with the stylus.
Yeah.
And so then I did a half and half. So like half my face is like drawn and the other half is just me. And that was a productive morning.
Well, I think we've come to the end of this rocky podcast.
Yes, it's smoothed out, except if we have to do the entire second half of it again.
I don't think we will. I'm looking at the DVR, and we've got from the very beginning here.
Wunderbar.
So yeah, we'll see how that works. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, guys. Our audio listeners, just another podcast for you, regular. For our live listeners, however, sorry for the bumps and bruises. I will no longer be using pre-release builds for the for the live stream. I'll be going back to Windows 8.1 every week, but that's what you have to do. So I've been Zach Bowden, along with Sean Michael.
What's your last name?
I don't even know. You can find Sean Michael at Sean_Michael_UK. Yes?
Yes, that's right. And you can find Zach at ZachB_.
Yes, look, we've memorized each other's Twitter handles. That's how much we're friends.
That's true. People ask if we're friends offline, and sure, that's good.
Yeah, I mean, if we know each other's Twitter handles, we must be friends.
It must be friends. That's the only. Yeah, there you go. That's a good.
For our live listeners, we'll be staying around just to answer a few questions and stuff. But for our audio listeners, this is the end of the road for this week. Make sure you share our podcast on Twitter, Facebook, Google+, Elo, LinkedIn, MySpace, maybe.
What is it? Hello? That was the thing?
You can also download our podcast on iTunes, TuneIn, SoundCloud, and other places. I do not remember where it is.
Windows official podcast app.
Windows official podcast app, yes. Also known as podcasts. So yeah, thanks so much for listening, guys, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye.